Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. Welcome to the Monday morning recap show, 5:30 on the East Coast in the afternoon today. I feel like we went a little early today. Proud of us, though, and I'm proud of you for flopping on over from Drinkin Bros over to here. Huge weekend in sports. We'll start with the NBA playoffs. D'Anthony, can anybody beat the Warriors?
No.
That's what it appears. Man, I watch this team, and I just do not see a weakness other than a center. And I think the only competition they would have had would maybe have been Milwaukee, but that's kind of it in the NBA.
I mean, fuck a center anyway. That's like being like, oh, boy, I don't know. That team doesn't have a fullback. It's that position's dead.
Is it? And that's what I keep wondering. So as I'm watching these games over the weekend, Charles Barkley bitched about this, that the NBA is just all fucking three-pointers. He said that pregame of that the Dallas Golden State game, they ended up shooting 73 three-pointers in that fucking game.
Not enough.
Is that crazy? I mean, is that fucking crazy?
Doing the same thing baseball does. 3 true outcomes.
What, I don't know what that means. What is that?
In baseball, it means you either walk, strike out, or hit a home run.
It means nerds ruin the fucking sport.
It's a walk, hit, or an out. One of those three things.
But you're going for a home run.
Yeah, you're looking for a home run.
But the interesting part to me was with Golden State, they had scored 58 points in the paint, and they destroyed Dallas because they didn't have to depend on three-pointers, and that's the best shooting three-point team in the NBA.
But also, you need to keep in mind that Dallas isn't that good.
They're not. It's just Luka on an island and a bunch of dummies.
It's not just Luka.
Dinwiddie's fine. He's a fine role player.
It's a thin team.
Yes.
Like they pulled an upset last round, and now they're faced with an even better team than they played last round.
There's a guy that looks like he has produce in his hair.
Bullock. Yeah, he was 0 for 10 last night.
Horrific.
Yeah, but he plays really good defense, and Brunson is good. So they have 3 really good players. You can't judge any team based on how they match up with the Warriors in the playoffs, right? Like Dallas is where Jordan was in the late 80s right now. They have a star player, a couple of key role players, but I think they need to get rid of Brunson. Like he's not worth the money that he's going to get on the market.
I agree.
To be honest.
I agree.
But it's they're 3 or 4 years away from being title contenders, in my opinion. Like Luka's 23 years old, man. His prime is.
Oh yeah, he's got many years ahead of him. The interesting part to me, and I was incorrect on this, and I'll go ahead and take this. I'll walk this back on the show. I said when they traded for Wiggins, that was a horrific decision to take on that kind of money for that type of guy because I thought he would want the ball. Ironically, it turns out that he just doesn't want the ball, and he's turned into Andre Iguodala, and that was the formula that worked from 2015, 16, 17. Like,
and
it's interesting to watch.
I will not apologize for taking the Mavericks in this series, being the only person brave enough on this set.
Yeah, that was dumb.
But I just wanted to be different.
You're like the ghost of like a French officer charging at a machine gun with your saber in 1914. You're just like, sorry, I'm brave.
With the information we had at the time, though, Wiggins did not seem to be a good fit.
No, and he's the perfect fit. It's strange.
Yeah, a lot of the pressure as a primary scorer is off him, obviously because of all the talent they have on that team. But I think it's more Draymond telling him what to do. I think Andrew Wiggins is a fucking knucklehead and doesn't know how. He's great. He's a great basketball player, but he has no idea how to play basketball. But if you just tell him what to do, he will go out there and do it probably better than most people.
He is finally living up to the Maple Jordan moniker.
Yeah.
Look, dude, he is the.
That's what it is.
That dunk last night was nasty.
Yeah, he's legitimately the second best player I've ever seen come out of KU in like my lifetime. The first being Embiid.
Excuse me.
Manning?
Okay.
I said second.
Okay.
I was like, you better say Embiid.
Yeah, Embiid's number 1. But like Wiggins, it honestly just stunk. Wiggins has
Same
kind
team,
of had,
by the way.
What?
Same team.
Yeah,
Were they really on the same team?
Wiggins has had the.
I think they lost in the first weekend too.
Yeah.
KU does that a lot.
First or second, yeah.
People forget. Wiggins had the unfortunate. Embiid is much better than him, but Wiggins has a ton of potential. But he's just like a he's like a quarterback that could be good if you put him on the right team from the get-go. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Instead, he was sort of like just sent to like the Jaguars and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like he was never put in a good situation, and he was never allowed to like be mature the way he needed to mature and stuff like that. It's crazy what playing for a good organization with good coaching on the player level, good coaching on the coaching level, good analytics, good GM. Oh wow, this fucking player with a ton of potential is finally living up to it. Like,
Yeah.
Some people you can just let go. You know what I mean? Like some people can just go out and fucking do it. Other people like Wiggins can't. And now that he's finally in a good situation, he's a fucking great player.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing about all of this is, aside from his three-point shooting, his statistics year over year from when he was in Minnesota, when he's in Golden State, are pretty much identical. Like, he's not doing better than he was doing in Minnesota.
But it was unimpressive in Minnesota because he was the guy.
They just need less from him.
Which stats, though? What's his PER? Or even that is questionable to me because, like, in basketball, it's not like baseball specifically, where it's like all of the Pittsburgh Pirates could hit 200. There's nothing saying that. But in the NBA, somebody's gonna get numbers. Like that team could be fucking ass.
Right,
So someone's gonna score 25.
He get unnecessarily dunked on by everyone else because he would put up like 20 points a game for the Timberwolves, but they sucked.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's just
but
like
so
he's not very
he
good.
had two outlier seasons, 16-17 and 19-20, where he had over 18 shot attempts per game in each, and he scored over 20 points a game in each. But for the most part, he's been a 17 to 19 point per game dude his whole career.
Yeah.
Oh, a Reggie Miller type, huh?
Yeah. Those, I mean, honestly, and
That's a drive-by.
his the other numbers per year, like his defense has gotten quite a bit better in Golden State because of the style of defense they play and because of the scheme. Let's be real about that. But aside from that, his fucking total and rate stats are pretty much identical to his top years in Minnesota. The difference is that Karl Anthony Towns is a fucking loser, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he'll never be the leader of a great team.
To be fair, and not to be fair, to point out, Karl Anthony Towns, leader of that Kentucky team that choked away the title of greatest college basketball team of all time.
There are winners and there are people that are not winners, and Karl Anthony Towns is not a winner. It's just that simple, right? He's a good. He's a above average basketball player. He's not great, but he's never going to be like the anchor of a great team. And the problem is you had two guys that you thought would be anchors of great teams. So, hey, this will work out great, but neither one of them will ever be an anchor of a great team.
Listen,
that's not who they are. That's not what their personality is.
It is a tough look when you get choked out by Ben Simmons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can never live that down.
But anyways, as far as this last game went, like the series doesn't start until the underdog plays their first home game, right? Until game 3. Because you're supposed to win all your home games. That's how it's set up. Hasn't been that way with Miami and Boston, but forget about that. When they came back, I knew as soon, like within 2 minutes of this game starting last night, I was like, fucking Warriors are going to win this game. And to be honest, they may win tomorrow night as well.
They're going to sweep them. This is business. It looks like they are doing business.
And
But
and
think
they
about
want
this,
to
like
win.
back
they're
to,
trying.
Back to what you said before about the Warriors have more three-point shooting ability than any team that's ever existed in the NBA, right? 100%. They don't take more this year than they have before. It's very interesting. So here's between. Well, let me go back to the stats from the game first. So the Warriors shot 32 threes last night. Dallas 45.
Oh.
Right. The Warriors made 11. Dallas made 13, so they were much better at it.
77 attempts, though, is fucking insane for an NBA game these days.
Sure, yeah, but the amount of attempts that Golden State had of the amount of three-point attempts as a ratio of their total attempts was not that weird. So Jason Kidd sucks as a coach. Can we be real about that?
Yeah, we've been saying that.
Yeah, that's
like
fine.
he's bad.
That's
And
fine.
here's the evidence. So Jordan Poole, Draymond Green, and Andrew Wiggins all had 4 fouls at the end of this game. Steph Curry had 5, right? So you have to wonder what this game would have looked like if instead of shooting 45 fucking three-pointers, 60% of their shots, Dallas' shots were threes, right?
Yeah.
And they only made 29% of them. 60% of their shots were threes. If they had just if they had drawn that down, so Golden State took 40% of their shots were threes. If they had just taken 20% more getting into the fucking lane and creating fucking contact and getting foul calls, which they were getting all goddamn night, who knows what this game would have looked like with Jordan Poole out or at least missing minutes. Same thing with Curry. Same thing with Draymond. I mean, what the fuck?
I
man?
know what that game would have looked like because that's what that game looked like in game 2 or right? Yeah, game 2. Draymond was out like the whole fucking second half, and they fucking blew their lead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
a huge lead. Like you're right. It's shitty coaching. I like as soon as Draymond went out or whatever. Like I got to 5 fouls or what, and he sat out a significant amount of time. I was like, dude, Dallas could do some work.
Yeah,
and they didn't do fucking shit.
No, but you have to give the team that opportunity, and as a coach, you're not doing that if you're fucking cycling at the top of the key looking for a 3-point shot.
Or honestly,
like why are you doing that?
It always looks like their only other play is like, all right, Luka drives, takes an off-balance layup, and maybe gets fouled.
Hopes for the best.
It's.
I mean, Luka shot 17 free throws last night, made 14 of them. Right? That's good for them. You're scoring points. You're slowing the game down a little bit, which is good. But I think that's the.
There's a problem with that though, and this is the problem, is that the calls you get in the second quarter.
The problem is he missed 3.
Yeah.
They're free throws,
Yep,
Rob.
they're free
You
throws.
know why they're free throws?
Why?
Because they're free.
Because they're free.
Free.
The calls you get in the second quarter, you're not going to get in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like in baseball where, like, that's fine. Swing for the fences in the third inning, the fourth inning, whatever. But you got to start getting a little more fucking situational in the eighth and ninth, and they don't fucking do that.
Yeah, and it's ultimately bad coaching, in my opinion, on kids' part. But it's also a problem intrinsically with the style of game that Luka plays. Like, he's one of the higher usage rate guys in the game, 38+%. That's a lot, right? Like a typical ball dominant player is somewhere around 34 to 36%. He's quite a bit higher than that. And if you're going to play a team like the Warriors that have 5 dudes who can move the ball up and down the court, 5 dudes who can shoot the ball on the court at any given time, you can't afford to slow walk the ball up the court and then with 14 seconds left on the shot clock, start your rotation, and then you have 5 seconds left with the ball in Luka's hand still. You cannot do that. You will fucking lose every single game you play like that. Even, they're 0-4 this postseason when he scored 40 or more points.
That game was never really close last night. As I was watching, I was just like, all right, maybe they'll come back a little bit, but this is fucking over.
Luka has got to find a way. And look, he's 23 years old. This is the same thing that every fucking superstar forever will go through. So I don't think we're talking shit here. He's got to find a way to match his style of play. And look, he's one of the best scorers in the NBA. He's got to find a way to match his style of play with the pace and tempo and strategy that is prevalent in the NBA right now. And if he can't do that, then he won't win. It doesn't matter who else you put on that team.
Right.
He is. Maybe it's just because he doesn't have a lot of help, but I'm getting a little worried about him. Kind of getting a little James Harden-y.
Well, he doesn't have the horses in the back, Rob.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
Goddamn right he doesn't. There's nothing there for him.
But the other series is like watching, you know how somebody will run into their clone in a fucking sci-fi movie and then they fight themselves, but it's neutral because they both know each other's moves.
Great Will Smith movie.
Yeah, that's what this
is
fucking. Well, it is a Will Smith movie. I wouldn't say great, but yeah, this is what's happening in this series. I've never seen 2 teams that are this similar play against each other in the fucking conference finals like this. Is wild.
Dude, what's fucking wild is that I guarantee you, like this feels like a series that NBA Twitter fucking hates.
Yeah, but this is a great fucking series.
I know. This is like almost like watching the Celtics and Heat play. I'm like, man, this is college basketball on PCP.
Well,
like it's good, actual,
Rob,
smart basketball.
You're mistaken, first off, Rob, because NBA Twitter doesn't actually watch the games.
That's true.
I know. That's why they hate it.
They just watch other people live tweet the games and then hate on them.
Yes, there's no
And
there's nothing. There's no cool storylines really. Like I guess Jason Tatum or whatever. But I feel like NBA. Twitter,
Yeah, but how are their fits?
Right.
Yeah. How are the pregame clothing?
Yeah. But this has
What's that
been
look like?
at the beginning of each game, I don't know who's going to win. And honestly, I don't know the last time I remember a series like that.
for Heat Celtics?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange. It's
and
the weirdest fucking series of all
even
time.
the spread today. So Jimmy Butler's playing, but he's a little banged up. Tyler Hero, who is their lead scorer, not in the playoffs, but in the regular season, he was their leading scorer, is out. Mm-hmm. And it's -7 Boston. That's too many points still.
Where is that on? Is that on mybookie.com? Promo code
Yeah.
Drinkin Bros doubles your deposits.
Sure is.
Perfect segue. Do you love sports? How about making money? If you answered yes to either of those questions, then mybookie.com is the place for you. Not only does betting with mybookie.com make every game more exciting, but when you sign up using the promo code Drinkin Bros, your first deposit is instantly doubled to $1,000. Up to $1,000, I should say. God damn it, dude. You got to put in $1,000 to get $1,000. If you put in a hundo, you get a hundo back. With thousands of bets to make on all your favorite sports, there's no shortage of ways for you to win at mybookie.com. On top of having amazing lines and props, mybookie.com is also home to several exclusive contests and promotions so that you can't really find them anywhere else, and they do that on purpose so you can win more money and go to their site and enjoy it. Get off the couch and get into the game with mybookie.com and turn your love of sports into your new side hustle. Head to mybookie.com today and use promo code Drinkin Bros to get your first deposit instantly doubled up to $1,000 and start winning today. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.com. I do not understand this -7 spread tonight. Therefore, I will probably take it.
In Boston, right?
Yep, it is in Boston. Jimmy Butler doesn't play all the second half.
Yeah.
No problem. They end up fucking smoking him at home. Game 1 in Boston, which is fucking nuts. Game 3 overall, but that was the first home game in Boston for this. And the fans were going bug fuck.
-7, though. That tells me Celtics by 15 tonight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Because usually when you see a game so far, I've been paying quite a bit of attention to the spreads for these games so far this year in the playoffs. Forget about the first round, but since the second round, if it's a clear victory for one team, it's a 6.5 point spread. That's pretty much where they're setting it. And 7, I don't know if it's bait or if it's just like, hey, fuck you. There's no way that Miami's going to win this game. I don't know what exactly they're trying.
They're
to do
begging you to take Miami.
Yeah, but I honestly. Maybe in a teaser up to 13, but even that, I don't know if that would be safe.
The teaser
will go to 11.
4.
Yeah,
it's
basketball
4?
is 4. So if you were doing it, I might do Miami plus 11 and then take this over-under down. It's at 206 right now. Take it down to 202. That's a 102 to 101 game.
This feels like a situation where I might like player props. I like
We get it, dude.
What's
You like
Tatum's
player props?
Well, so here's
Tatum's points?
the hard thing about player props. The last game, if you watched it, it seemed like every Celtics player got injured for exactly a quarter and then magically reappeared back on the court. Who was it? Jaylen Brown?
Yeah.
Marcus Smart was out for a point. It looked like he had broke his ankle, and then magically he was able to return and hit a 3. I don't know what the fuck is going on with the Celtics training staff, but they're putting PCP inside these guys.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, just
Well,
a
it's
little
probably Toradol.
Maybe.
That's what football players use. There's good props on both of these games.
What's
But if
Tatum's
Jimmy
points?
Butler's playing, those points I would go for. Yeah, what's Tatum's points?
Because if they're going to win by 7 or more, Tatum's probably hitting an over on the points.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm looking at props for tomorrow's Warriors game too. Like plus.
So that spread, by the way, is -1, which is stupid to me.
Plus.
For what? For the Warriors?
No, Dallas is favored -1.
Yeah, gentleman's sweep. Dallas wins.
Yeah, I think Dallas is going to win. So
You think so?
Yeah, Dallas is going to get 1.
Yeah.
You think? I look. We said before this series started that Luka was always good for 1. After watching this 3-point shooting, which is all they're fucking doing, I don't think so. I think it's a sweep. I'm taking.
I think, dude,
I'm taking Golden State.
the Dubs. They're doing business right now. Like they're not even.
Yeah,
this
if they're
is-
doing business, they got to get another home game revenue.
So there's a plus 7,500. Steph Curry has 40 points. Draymond has 9 plus assists, and Kevon Looney has 14 plus total rebounds. He's had that many rebounds in every single one of these games so far.
Steph, though, I don't think has cracked 35 yet in this series because he doesn't have to, and that's what's amazing.
No, he's not in this series, but he's got 7 40-point games so far in the playoffs.
He does, but in this series, though, he doesn't really have to, and it's fun to watch.
We'll
'cause
see
you're
how it
just like,
goes.
holy
I mean,
shit.
if they get down, I don't know how much of a push they're going to make to try to make a late comeback. Like if they're going to play guys 40, 41, 42 minutes to make a late comeback in a game like this when they know they're just going to go back home in 2 days. You know what I mean? Especially since, I don't think it really helps the Warriors that much to finish this series tomorrow because Boston, Miami is probably going 7 games.
So Delco, to your point here, you think this is a 15-point Celtics win, right? There is an alt line on this game, which is very interesting that you said 15, because the alt line is 13.5. Now, with that pays off at plus 230. That's almost 2.5 to 1.
Okay.
Do you take something like that on my bookie?
Well, I love value.
I know, dude.
He's like, Dan would like happily lose $100,000 if it meant,
If I got some
It's
juice,
value,
man.
dude.
as
Anyone got some
long as he's like,
juice?
but the value paying off. Tatum is 27.5 tonight on the over under. And the over, the odds are like minus 145 or something like that.
Okay.
Which means that Vegas thinks he's going over.
Have you ever done any of these where you get the whole game props where it's Heat win by 7 to 9 points and it's plus 1,400?
Oh, the like little micro.
I've done those a bunch, dude. I've hit one.
I mean, that's a scratch off. It's like
It
a
is.
golf bet.
It
Like
is,
it's
yeah.
like yeah. Like
We'll get to golf in a second. I'm fucking bitter, dude, this week. I'm really fucking bitter. But yeah, with this, so tonight's game, God damn, I know what I'm gonna end up doing, so I might as well just say it. I'm gonna tease this. I'm gonna tease it down to 202, take the over, and I'm gonna tease that up to plus 11 for Miami. And I think if there was a player prop on there, I haven't seen it yet. If there's a player prop for Jimmy Butler scoring 40, I think I'm in for that.
shit.
There's a
Because he's the if Tyler is out, that's the only way that this is going to happen.
plus 2,300. Butler 28 points, 5 assists. Bam Adebayo 9 rebounds.
But Butler's
and Miami wins.
They got to win though. That's
Butler's
the-
over under on points alone is 25.5.
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
was
in. Oh, I'm in for that for sure. Fucking A. Yeah. All right, let's go. I'll ride with that 25.5 points, and I'm going to tease that up both ways. Are you guys both taking Dallas at this -1 then tomorrow?
Yes.
No, I'm going to bet props, but yeah, I just think
You think Luke is good for a game
no. I think that the Warriors are going to tank it.
because they're lazy?
No, because
Better
they don't
draft
want to
pick.
fucking this is a scrimmage for them. It's teams that are up 3-0 are 146-0 in the history of the NBA in playoff series. They're not going to fucking lose. They know it. We know it. Everybody knows it. There's no benefit for them to win tomorrow night and then be off for 6 days before they play again. That is fucking cancer to any team. And look, it would be one thing if they were playing some other really good team and blah, 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 and it's a matchup situation.
They accidentally had their like foot on the throat of somebody
Yeah.
that they shouldn't have.
yeah, I
but-
could see Dallas getting up and then kind of the Warriors maybe just taking
Subbing
their guys
people
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would be one thing if the finals were going to be against another like super skilled team or something like that, but these are fucking pit bulls. Both of these two teams are they've had some injury issues, so we'll see how deep they're each going to be, but they play fucking hard, handsy defense for 48 fucking minutes a game, and you don't want to be coming off 6 days of rest into that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Especially not the Warriors who fucking have a tendency to get a little lax sometimes. I think I don't know how you say that as Steve Kerr, right? I don't know how you communicate to your team like, hey, let's
Through a mask.
give it our best shot.
He's
guys.
still wearing a mask. Yeah.
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 Yeah, except for when he gets close to people, then he takes it off to
Yep.
talk to them, puts the mask
Sure
back
does
on.
every single time.
It's theater. He's a cunt.
Oh,
it's
to be
weird.
like what's weird with him too is that like he is a very ill man, but like physically, like he always has to miss games because he has like weird back problems
Back
and
issues.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a
Coach K playbook.
He had back surgery a couple of years ago, and they punctured his fucking the sac that has your CSF, cerebral spinal fluid,
Oh,
in it.
fuck, dude.
So it leaks out into his bloodstream sometimes, and that, as I am well aware, gives you massive fucking headaches.
Yeah, and I
cool.
think he was in so much pain that he actually had to get an epidural at one point.
Maybe, yeah.
If memory serves me correctly.
I'd
with
love
him.
one.
Same.
To be
After
quite
seeing what my
honest.
wife went through the other night, man.
But
She
yeah,
didn't
there's
remember having the baby.
there-
Maybe
there's
just danced
good-
on out.
Yeah, she didn't even remember having it.
This is an interesting prop. There's actually two here. One, PJ Tucker 5+ 3-point field goals made, and Miami wins. The Miami wins part is tough, but I like to look into these. If you click onto the props section of MyBookie, it has
When's the last time PJ Tucker hit 5 threes in a game?
Probably recently. That's all he does anymore. Offensively, is fucking sit in the corner and shoot.
Yeah, he doesn't do much.
So they're giving you like weirdo props essentially.
That's
Yeah. You don't
get
that's
to select.
plus
or
7,000.
not weirdo props, weirdo prop parlays.
Yeah, they have a whole list. So it's 0 to 1,000.
I would
to 1, and then 1,000 to 5,000, and
I'd be
5,000
I'd be very skeptical of any parlay the book offers you.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though I like my bookie, like, I'd be
Any
like what,
book.
you put this on the menu, like, man.
Yeah. I will say this, though. So the statement is that Jimmy Butler intends to play and that they benched Tyler Herro on their own because he's young and they want to take the decision out of his hands. Victor Oladipo is going to start. Oladipo has been fucking awesome when he's been in the games and looks like the old Oladipo from the Pacers. So, like, that's not that terrible of a downgrade, in my opinion.
That's not he's not the shooter that.
But
Herro
defensively,
is.
that motherfucker, dude, is
He's quite a bit better
down.
defensively than anybody else on that team.
Wonder if the
except for
dunk
Butler.
man's going to get any run tonight.
Maybe we'll see. But yeah, this will be a fun game to watch because it's like you said at the top. I don't know who's going to win this fucking. Every game is a goddamn mystery.
And it's actually like two basketball teams playing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really fun.
it is. It is. This is in Boston. Yeah, I've got Butler plus the 25.5. Like I'm going over on that 25.5.
I think Tatum scores over 27.5 too.
Yeah.
I mean, Tatum, like Tatum's good for like 40 on any given night. He can give you 40. So.
As soon as we get off air, I'm going to make these bets. Go to Drinkin Bros Sports. Sign up on Facebook. It's free. It's just so we can talk shit in there. I'll post these bets in there right after the show is over. I'm going to take both of those.
Miami money line's not a bad one to sprinkle either. It's plus 265.
Oh, why the fuck not?
Ooh, shit. Yeah, well, just to do it. Why not?
No,
I got
not
nothing
a
else
chance.
going on tonight.
Not a prayer.
I do think
I got
Boston
nothing
wins.
else
tonight.
going
Boston
on
wins
tonight.
big.
I never fucking count Jimmy Butler out of anything.
So you see, are you positive on that 15, you think?
Yeah, why not?
It's big boy odds. I'll take them. We'll flop on over to golf. The PGA Championship was this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Huge event. Tiger Woods ended up quitting
Well,
and pulling out
Rightfully
on
so.
Sunday. He almost shot an 80 on Saturday.
he
which
really,
was-
he's really banged up.
he looked horrific.
Going up steps, he has to be very ginger. Like,
Yes.
his leg is still not recovered yet.
Not at all. And it was strange seeing it where it was just like, even round one, where he made it out there, he was limping to the first tee box.
Yeah, but like, man, I had a bet for you to miss the cut. Why'd you have to grind day two?
Don't do. I
He
told you not to bet. Why would you bet against Tiger Woods?
Well, because he did what, he was 4 over day one, and then he somehow shot under par day two.
Damn right he
and
did.
Made the cut.
That was the best round of golf I watched this weekend. No lie.
And then he
Watching somebody that injured
blew his load.
to make the cut was one of the most impressive things ever.
Whatever.
And then the rest of it, Justin Thomas. Like I asked you this, I was like, dude, didn't that motherfucker win like 10 years ago? Close.
2017, right?
Yeah, but that's a long time between
He's only
wins.
29 though.
But I'd written him off.
He wins every year. I think he has like the longest streak of wins for.
I would never have
Bro.
pegged him to win a major. That guy wasn't even on my radar, like nowhere near it.
He was 12 to 1. He was one of the favorites.
I don't think of Justin Thomas though anymore as the dude, like at all. Like in 2017, everybody was like, "Oh man, this could be the next young superstar." It's just like, well, not really. I mean,
Well,
he wins here and there.
He shot 3 under yesterday.
He did.
It required Mito Pereira to completely melt down.
Yep. And then my guy doubled on 16, or else
Cam Young.
he would have
16
won.
was one of the hardest holes in the course. Cam Young played great though. It was just one bad shot that he pushed out to
Just
the
one.
bunker. And
I
he's not
lost
the
my
best.
shit
He's
yesterday.
not the best out of the sand. And I told you he's not. Him and Zalatoris both went to Wake Forest. Terrible putters. They're not good putters.
That $200 bet would have paid off at $16,400.
Yeah, because he's 80 to 1.
Yeah, I was so angry that I
He's still a stud.
I didn't
Cam
watch.
Young's a stud.
Here's how angry I was. I didn't even watch the playoffs. I walked out of the room. I was like, "Fuck this. Fuck these guys.
That's fine.
I'm all done with it."
Poor Mito though.
How did Zalatoris do? Because when I watched his final round, it looked like he was racing through shots, almost nervous, and I was like, "Oh, once you get to the playoff, you're done."
He was fine in the playoffs. It was just more JT he went out and got it. He put one on the green on 17 on the par 4. So he two-putted for birdie. That essentially won him the
Yep.
playoff.
Tiger Woods says that he's going to reassess playing this year, and more specifically because of how he's playing this year. Do you think he comes back and plays again?
I think he plays the British Open. I think he should skip the U.S. Open in a few weeks. 'Cause
Okay.
Brookline's going to be a little crazy on his fucking leg. A lot of elevation changes there. But, yeah, I think St. Andrews is perfect for him. It's flat. That is where he has the best chance to compete.
Okay.
But, yeah, shouts to JT. He won.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Justin Thomas fan.
I'm not either. He's boring as shit to me.
He's not necessarily
I'm all
even
good.
boring because he's pretty good in the booth. Like when they mic him up sometimes, and he does. I think he did the Tom Brady, the match thing where he was kind of on the course calling that.
Yeah,
He does pretty well with that.
Apparently
but he
he-
just kind of comes off as like he's just kind of. I don't something about him I don't like.
Is he a Bama guy?
He is.
He is,
Yeah, he was talking shit on Jimbo Fisher after he won.
He was. Yeah, he
which
went
I
after him.
appreciate.
I'll say this again. It is perfectly reasonable to not take sides in a fight between two assholes.
Jimbo and Nick.
Yeah.
So here's what Justin Thomas said on Sirius XM this morning. He says, "Yeah, I got a 24-hour rule as far as celebration. By the way, I share in the same rule. I think you have 24 hours to celebrate a life accomplishment and then move on." And then his next statement was, "I'm not sure what Jimbo Fisher's rule is, but I guess he's got to win something first before he figures out his rules."
Oh, well,
pretty fucking
Jimbo's
awesome.
won.
Jimbo's got
something.
a title.
He's got a ring.
With Florida State?
Yeah.
That's right.
With
He got the
Jameis.
Jameis
With,
ring.
oh, God, dude. That's right.
You got the
got
crab
the crab
ring.
legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and did you just say that you have that same policy as well? Because what I can see from my angle is
Two massive
soccer,
trophies,
like
yeah.
children's soccer coaching trophies
No.
that you had nothing to
It's
do
a
with.
reminder.
No,
though.
I
What he can
coach the
accomplish.
team, yeah. What
Yeah.
you can accomplish, a reminder is fine, but don't take a week off for your birthday. Don't take a week off for achievements and all that other shit. You got to get back to work. 24
I
hours.
can't wait for you to buy me one of those. Just letting you know.
Oh, my God, my daughter's going to house you.
I think you should go on a
Fucking
bender
house.
anytime you accomplish anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but it's one day. One
Like-
day and one day only.
It's,
That's it.
it's like a bender is, well, we can discuss the definition of one, but in my opinion, it's anything
3 days?
3 days or longer.
3
is a
plus.
bender, yeah.
When's the last bender you went on to celebrate something in your life?
I've never celebrated anything.
Ever? Any accomplishment?
Well, no. I can't think of. No, I don't even have birthday parties. Why would I
Like
celebrate?
when you killed a dude, were you like, all right, fuck, that was a sweet kill. I'm gonna go do X tonight, whatever that is.
No, you just go kill the next one. How do you kill a bunch of people one at a time?
It's true.
Right?
Heard
It's like
that.
eating an elephant, right?
Yeah, it is. It really is.
But yeah, I mean, JT, second PGA championship. I guess he's only going to do that because his dad was a PGA pro, like Tour Pro. Or not Tour Pro, but a, whatever, the
Club Pro.
Club Pro.
Club
That's
Pro.
right.
We're going to a golf tournament. I
We
don't
are.
actually know what's happening. So
Juneteenth.
Brittany looked it up. Sunday there's a party or something on 19th, and then on the 20th is the actual golf event. Is
Yep.
that right?
Yep.
There's like some.
When is that?
There's some music. thing.
Juneteenth. Sorry if you don't celebrate it.
This week, though, we have Colonial.
We do, and we'll be
Fort
doing
Worth.
that show tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm talking about one that we're going to get fucked up at.
Correct.
Is it
John
Nashville
Daly
one?
thing?
John Daly, yeah. And
Yeah,
we'll have Hard AF Seltzer there.
Yeah, quite a bit of it. Yeah,
Tons.
And Ryan Jensen's going to come hang out.
Oh, do
Yep.
I get to play in this?
Do you want to play?
You can, yeah.
Yeah, you can play.
I'll play.
Okay. Bring your sticks, dude.
As
We'll
long
get
as it
you out
doesn't-
there.
As long as it doesn't interfere with your work.
I can do both.
You can do both, yeah. If you set up, you're good. You
I actually
I would
have-
like to see what your score, just to see what you shoot.
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe
terrible.
we should all play because I
Game's
suck.
not in great shape right now.
No.
I
play
haven't.
for the-
I'm
I've,
terrible golf.
I've only
absolute
swung.
dog shit
I've
golf.
I've literally only swung a golf club on an actual golf course one time, not for one day, one time in my entire life. So I would be curious to see. Like I have no idea how to play golf at all. All my experience with golf is either being pissed drunk at the clubhouse or trying to hit the ball into the highway at Topgolf.
Both of those are the only ways to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure,
You
yeah.
want to
but-
hit it over the net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Top Golf.
The worst part about playing golf for me is I'll like take the first tee and people are like, "Oh, a lefty, what's gonna happen?" And then I hit it like a drunk girl, and they're like, "Oh."
No, he's terrible.
Wow.
He's
I
Like,
think
they
we-
take just slightly more note of me because I'm on the other side of the pin.
I think it's like I feel like I need to do it for my mental health. like challenge myself to be patient enough to learn a new thing.
You know what's weird? It's weird that you said that. So Matt Best is like that, and we went to Top Golf after I forget what event we were doing. It was in San Antonio. It was close to the office, Black Rifle.
Yeah.
And he took it very seriously. And towards the end of the night, like, because I'm drinking, just fucking bombs away, hitting drives like as far as I can, like a goddamn baseball bat. And I go, "What's the story with this?" He had the exact same answer you just did. It was strange. Over the weekend, too, we'll switch to baseball here. This Josh Donaldson story kept popping up.
Hey, wait,
on the
before
Twitter
we
feed.
switch to baseball, I just want to mention, before we close out on the NBA, that nobody wants to coach the Lakers.
No.
Like, multiple people have now turned down the job, including Juwan Howard.
Nobody wants to play with LeBron.
I mean, it's just a mess for like the next 2 or 3 years there.
Why would you want to be the boss where you're not the boss?
Yeah, that's the whole fucking deal. I mean, that's exactly it. Nobody wants to.
That's like a work cuck, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
there are people that are into that. Quite
True.
a few.
Ty Lue. Just bring Ty Lue back. Just
Yeah.
take him from one LA spot to the other LA spot, and that's the fucking end of it.
Is he coaching the Clippers right now?
Yeah.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Well, what's left of them? I mean,
Yeah, is Kawhi Leonard ever coming back to
I
play?
don't know. It's
He's
just
dead.
a zombie super team full of injured people. It is what it is.
It's weird.
I just thought that was funny. But anyways, yeah, this Josh Donaldson thing is stupid.
Did he say something racist? So I caught part of this. Some highlights. I didn't watch the game, obviously. But
He essentially he made a joke about a black player, Tim Anderson, who's a very good black player,
Yep.
comparing himself to Jackie Robinson.
Here's the quote. This is from a Sports Illustrated interview he did. And it was about the criticism that he gets for bat flips, basically. Like, he's the only one that does it.
Right.
Like, his premise was that I'm doing bat flips and shit, and people are mad about it because I'm black. Well, no, people are mad at it because you're showing them up. And it is what it is. Like, it's not... It's actually a lot more popular with Latino players than it is with black players, frankly.
Right.
But here's his comment. I kind of feel like today's Jackie Robinson. And that's the end of the fucking comment as far as I'm concerned, but there's more.
Because that's insane. Because that's an insane that's an insane
Like,
thing to
shut
say.
the fuck up.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, who said that?
Tim Anderson.
Tim Anderson, the shortstop for the White Sox. He says, I kind of feel like today's Jackie Robinson. That's huge to say, but it's cool, man, because he changed the game, and I feel like I'm getting to a point where I need to change the game.
Real question here. And
if
I fucking know who Tim Anderson is. Tim Anderson is a great baseball player. Had you heard of this guy before the story?
So great question.
Oh, no, because you went to the fucking game.
Correct. I was at the Field of Dreams game where Tim Anderson fucking
Tied it
jerked
up.
off that home run. And I was like, that was my introduction to Tim Anderson. Other than that, I would not have known who the fuck he was. You're correct.
So Donaldson is walking by him or some shit after I think he was out at second base and he's leaving the field.
Yeah.
I think is what happened. And he goes, "What's up, Jackie?" You know, to make fun of him for calling himself Jackie Robinson.
Right.
Now, I just want to be clear about something. He thought it was racist because, like, Jackie Robinson's the only other black baseball player ever, right?
Right.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Look.
But if Shohei Ohtani, for example, this is actually close to accurate. If he did an interview with Sports Illustrated and says, "Yeah, I'm basically the modern Babe Ruth," that's actually kind of an accurate statement. And if he was walking out on the field and somebody goes, "What's up, Babe? Oh, you think you're fucking Babe Ruth?"
Right.
And we're razzing
He is
him
a
about
handsome
it.
man, yeah.
What the fuck's that got to
Both.
do with things?
He's Babe.
Babe, I see.
Babe, he's Babe. Yeah.
Double entendre, yeah. If somebody if you say some stupid shit like that, we are a shame-based culture. You get roasted for it, dude. That's a fucking retarded thing to say. Well, at the end of the day, they asked Josh Donaldson after the game what the hubbub was all about, and he explained it. Like, yeah, there was a 2019 interview he did where he referred to himself as Jackie Robinson, so I've been making fun of him about it for years. And I've said this multiple times. It's never blown up like this. And all of a sudden, Tony La Russa, who is definitely racist, says it's racist. And then Tim Anderson's like, "Yeah, I think it's a little bit."
There is two little things that probably changed it also. Before that play happened where Anderson got mad, or before that happened where Anderson got mad like a day before, there's that play where Donaldson is getting the ball.
He pretty much like
he shoved him off the
off the base.
Right.
Yeah. Which
Like-
is I wouldn't say it's a dirty play because you're not going to hurt
It's
anybody
Bush.
doing it, but it's fucking Bush League bullshit.
And Donaldson, he played for the Braves in 2019. I really enjoyed Josh Donaldson being on the Atlanta Braves.
I was pissed he left.
No, it's fine because we've all
Yeah, but if he's on another team, you hate him.
Josh
He's that
Donaldson
kinda
is
guy.
a noted douchebag.
Yeah.
In a way that where you love him, he's like Draymond Green.
You love him if he's on your team.
Yeah, he's very much like Draymond Green in that regard. And so he's always been a controversial guy. Like, he was one of the big people. Remember when the Royals and fucking Blue Jays were going at it, like really heated, and the Blue Jays and Rangers too. Like, Donaldson is a fucking shit talker.
He's always in the middle of some shit.
Yes.
Like, he likes to talk shit.
So he
So-
just got suspended 1 game for this.
Yeah, and that's bullshit. However, I will say he said it was an inside joke. He doesn't have inside jokes. Like, he was being an asshole.
Yeah.
And Anderson got mad, and then they made it more than it was.
Yeah, certainly. But you're completely entitled to be an asshole and talk shit to other players when you're on a fucking baseball field.
Yes, and when someone compares themselves to Jackie Robinson,
Like,
Yeah.
what,
like
what
a
if he
fucking
had
idiot.
compared himself to Hank Aaron and he called him Hank? Would that be racist? Like, it's
I don't
because
know.
they're both black? Like, no, dude, you referred to yourself as the modern version of one of the most important athletes in human history.
I would wager a top like 10 most important American in the 20th century.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So
man.
here's what the White Sox pitching coach had to say just a few moments ago. Just 1 game. We all saw his malice at third a week ago, and then this comment with a ridiculous excuse that followed. What's the point or message behind a 1-game suspension? This is incredibly disappointing
It's
and
like-
plain frustrating.
It's like when somebody wins a lawsuit, but they're only awarded $1. That's basically like
Right.
Major League Baseball is like, fine, you're right. He's kind of a dick, but we're not going to actually do anything about it because there's nothing to be done about it.
And also, the referencing the play is the dumbest part because Josh Donaldson would do that to his child.
Yeah.
yeah, I'd do it to mine.
Right. Like,
mean,
Josh
that's,
Donaldson
you know.
would do that to fucking anyone. Josh Donaldson is, again, he's Draymond Green. You love him when he's on your team. He is the most annoying asshole motherfucker when he's on any other team.
Yeah, he's been in quite a bit of scuffles over the years and not singling out any particular racial group ever.
No.
Like, he's just a cunt 24 hours a day. And the weird thing about this is that it spawned this conversation that there aren't enough black baseball players. Let me stop you right there, bud. Nobody is stopping black people from playing baseball anywhere on earth.
No.
That's just not fucking reality, man.
So that doesn't even. We talked about this with Jared Diamond, the Wall Street Journal fucking guy, baseball writer, on a baseball show last year. I wouldn't use the term even black for that because there are a shit ton of black faces on baseball fields.
yeah, they're just Dominican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just not African American.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the difference. There are half of the fucking Braves lineup is black.
Yep.
Half the league is. I
Oh.
mean, it's
Quite a
insane.
bit. I mean,
Yeah.
there's there still has to be choice, right? Like, I think it's 7% of Major League Baseball or 8% is black.
Which would be half of what African Americans make up roughly. Of
They're like 12.5%, 13%. Depends on the year,
Yeah.
right? So it's not even that.
Is
But
that like American-born blacks?
it's like 60,
Yes.
60. They're 60, 65% represented based on their population representation. So who exactly is stopping them from playing baseball? Black people have been part of baseball for 75 fucking years now.
Well, the MLB.
Right?
I mean, they've been playing as long as white
Yeah,
people
well,
have.
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Major
yeah.
League Baseball specifically, nobody is, pardon the pun, but nobody's boxing out black dudes from playing baseball. They're going to play other sports because they can make more money in it.
And it's cooler. Like,
Yeah.
if you're a
There's
kid and
definitely
you
a
have the
cool
options
factor.
to play basketball versus baseball, you're going to do it. If you have the option to play football versus baseball,
Yeah,
you're going to do
it
it.
would be one thing to say. I guess there's like a certain argument like baseball prices you out kind of as a kid for some areas, but it's not
Rob,
quite.
Have you ever heard of the RBI program?
And it's actually worked quite a bit. Like there's more black players now than there was 20 years ago, but it's not quite like hockey where you're like
Yeah.
obscenely
I mean, show
priced
me-
out of the sport.
Find me all the people who are incredible athletes who have been stopped from playing Major League Baseball because they're black. Find me one, and I'll believe this fucking premise, but it doesn't exist.
Well,
It's fucking
MLB
nonsense.
actually paid for a study on it about 10 or 15 years ago, and then they magically buried it because they couldn't. We'll switch over to this Brittany Griner thing that has been picking up over the last week. David Silver made a comment about it, that they were working on getting Brittany Griner out of the Russian prison, which is weird to me because he's the commissioner of the NBA, not the WNBA.
Well, they own the
Yeah,
WNBA.
they're tied together.
Oh, they
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They subsidize the WNBA.
But
So
I
that
think
makes
I
sense,
think the
okay.
commissioner of the WNBA is probably not a job, right?
No, they have one. Yeah.
Have one,
Well,
but
she
you
came out and made a statement, but that was like a month and a half ago.
Fucking joke.
The weirdest part about this story, because this gets stranger, by the way, is that Biden in his administration is now involved, and they're this is real. They're making a trade for a Russian.
Does it fit in the trade machine, though?
Well, you tell me. All right.
All right.
Here's where shit gets wild.
It's
gotta-
the guy
we gotta
from
ask Bill
it's-
Simmons.
You've seen the movie Lord of War, right?
Yes,
It's that guy.
it's that guy.
The general?
It's the Merchant
no,
of
no,
Death.
the Merchant of Death. The guy Yuri, whatever
Nicolas
the fuck.
Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that he's based on. We're trading the
Yes.
Merchant of fucking Death
For Brittany Griner?
Brittany
Yes.
Griner.
Is this
Man.
the worst trade in
Why do the
basketball
Russians want
history?
This might
Did
be.
the Russians want him to put him in their jail?
I don't know.
No, they probably want to use him to sell all the weapons that they're going to steal from Ukraine that we're sending over there right now.
So his real name is Viktor Bout. He's a Russian national and the so-called Merchant of Death. He was convicted in 2011 of conspiring to sell millions of dollars in arms to FARC, South American terrorist group. Bout has not yet served half of his 25-year sentence, so looks like he's 11 years in.
The Russians are fleecing us.
We're always getting fleeced. I mean, this is fucked up, man. Like, Brittany
I-
Griner's
I-
not worth it, right?
Look, he's probably in jail for arbitrary reasons anyway. Like if we,
She's in prison for weed.
no, not her, him. Whatever. Whatever.
Weed, and that's the trade we're gonna make. Like, is there nobody else we could look at the roster of Russian prisoners and be like, all right, maybe not that guy, but we'll give you somebody else. Why this guy? I can't figure it out.
I'm just upset that people are going to start selling AK-47s illegally again.
Yeah,
Thought we'd stop that.
I mean, we can't get
Not a
Snowden
prayer.
involved in the trade.
I guess not. Forbes
he's
says
been,
negotiations are in the early stages.
Snowden's
by the way.
been real quiet since Russia invaded Ukraine. You don't want to
weird.
say the wrong thing
Yeah.
right
Well,
now.
he really has.
I
no
mean,
other
that's
option.
why the U.S. I assume, Dan, you're the perfect person to answer this. I assume, like, there's an op-ed, like, every other week where it's like, the silence is deafening on Brittany Griner. And it's, like, very clearly some people from the government have had to have been saying, like, do not make a big deal about this or you're going to fuck up our position.
Yeah.
Like, the less said, the better, right?
That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's nothing worse for diplomacy than a lot of press because people, I mean, it's the American media machine where pundits just get paid to say stupid shit, right? And that stupid shit is applied to actual U.S. policy when that's not necessarily the case. Like, fuck Russia's a bunch of goddamn psychopaths and they're racist and they're kidnapping people now.
the content industrial complex. Yes, it's
That's
the
pretty
worst
much
thing
what
going
it
on
is,
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah. But it's an awful trade at the end of the day, and I'm not really sure why.
We at
that-
least
that-
need cash considerations.
Yeah,
right?
our future draft pick.
Right.
For another American that fucks up. Like,
Right.
let's say Scott Baio, gets involved in something. We got to get Baio out of there, We got to get Chachi out of there.
Okay with Bayo staying. It's fine. It's not even a political reason. It's just he wasn't even that good as Bob Loblaw.
He was pretty.
He was fine.
He's
pretty
fine.
I mean, he was a good attorney. Why go to prison for something somebody else witnessed?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Next up, Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick, signed a deal with the Colts, and he's back, baby. He's back. He's not playing, right?
Well, he's got his.
He's behind Matt Ryan. He's not going to see the field.
Well, no, Matt Ryan's going to get hurt probably.
Look,
He's surprisingly durable. That fucking guy.
let the hamburger Prince of Austin make his money, and it's fine.
Yeah. Plus, he has Frank Reich, who he
Yeah.
won a Super Bowl with.
Yeah.
So, like, there might be a connection there.
Maybe.
You do understand my reference, don't
I
you?
do
Yeah.
for sure.
Because he got a
Hop
hammer.
Daddy,
Oh yeah.
No, Hop Dottie. His family owns Hop Dottie.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Nick Foles' family
Nick
owns Hop
Foles.
Dottie.
Yeah.
That makes a lot
Through
of sense.
Christ,
He's a,
anything
he's a
is
fucking
possible.
Westlake kid.
Yeah.
What, do you think his dad's taking the trash out?
There's money in trash.
There is.
Not legal money.
Says the guy from Delco. Also, Hard Knocks has announced that it will be the Arizona Cardinals. I'm a big fan of that. That's a fun team. I'm good with that.
I mean, if they show Cliff, like, in his giant empty house, yeah,
That's
I'm cool
great.
with that.
That's great. How amazing is his house, though? Holy shit! I think it's minimalism on purpose, though, right?
It's just a glass box.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful glass box he lives in.
I don't like modern homes.
Really?
No.
All right. I'm a big fan of his house. When they put that picture up, I was like, oh, shit, congratulations.
I agree. I don't want to live in a cube. What,
I think it's lovely.
What's the appeal of that?
Yeah, it looks like the giant cage they keep Magneto in.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful cube he owns. I'm in it. I'm into it. I'm into the Cardinals as a whole. Like, the Kyler Murray thing is fun.
I'm into, like, Phoenix, Scottsdale, like Tempe.
Yeah, that whole
like,
party
that
sitch.
I'm into
Love it.
that. I could see myself there eventually.
Is that is there any other place on
Yeah.
earth where it's as fun to live, or like it's as nice to live in your 20s as it is in your 80s? Like you could retire there, or you could be fucking.
You don't want to be 80
Yeah.
there.
Don't you?
Because if you get locked out of your car or your house
You're
at
dead.
80,
Dead.
you're done.
Yeah, you're going to die.
You're going to fry like an
Yeah.
egg.
Fry.
I'm hydrated as fuck, bro.
You
At
are.
80.
But 80. Think of your
Yeah,
80-year-old
what does
self.
that have to do with anything?
Old
You don't-
people
you don't-
die all the
Old people
time.
die
Yeah, of-
for heat strokes.
Certainly they do, but they don't just fucking like you don't get dehydrated because you're old.
No, but 120 degrees in Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's summer. You fall. You break your hip. You're on the sidewalk. You're done. You're a piece
I'll
of bacon.
be.
I'm with you.
By the time I'm
dead.
80, I'll be a cyborg probably.
No.
Oh yeah.
Technology is not going to be there.
It's not going to be there.
You don't think in 30
No.
years, 40 years from now, we're gonna have that kind of tech? You're out of your fucking
We
mind.
put a rocket on the moon in 69 and haven't been back.
Yeah, because nobody wanted to. But
You don't trust anybody. You're going to trust somebody to turn you into a
we went back
robot?
like 8
But
times.
one dude decided fucking 6 years ago to go to Mars, and we're like a year away now.
No.
So
we're definitely not a year away from Mars.
sure.
I don't think
we're,
so.
We're
I think Musk said
8
2025.
we're 18 months to 5 years away from.
Musk can barely get a
from sending
rocket out of
people
the
there.
atmosphere.
He sent a whole fucking car up there.
He blows up a rocket every other week.
Trying to
He's
design
in.
better rockets.
I think he does. I'm with Dan. I'll say if there was a bet on my bookie, I'd go 2025 of him making it there for sure.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're close.
To
I think they're real
Mars.
close. Giorgio, we'll flip on over to you. Did you watch Holly Holm this weekend? Did you watch the UFC card?
Sure.
I did. It was not okay. First of all, it was not the most exciting combat sports event that happened. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there.
You were at a wedding.
ONE FC 157 was better than UFC Fight Night. Putting that out there first. Also, Holly Holmes maybe got robbed, but okay, she won
No.
the first and she won the first and the fifth clearly, and it's that third round that's up for debate. You can't just take 15 minutes in the middle of the fight off. Like, I'm sorry, like you can't do that and then complain you got robbed. A lot of the media outlets give it to Holly, but Kaylen Vieira's a stud. Like, I don't know what you want to say. Like, don't take 15 minutes in the middle of round fight off. I don't know.
Yeah, it was on in the background. It didn't seem that fun to me, and it is what it is. Who else was on that card that was worth a shit? I only popped in for Holly Holm.
The co-main event was pretty interesting between Pereira and Ponzinibbio, but
I didn't watch it.
yeah, what you should have watched was the highlights from ONE FC when you had the Rotolo brothers making their submission grappling debut.
No,
These
you
are
didn't.
young kids from San Diego. They're originally Brazilians. They're 19 and 20 years old. They're about to be the best in the game.
Let me tell you what we've done. So, you know how everybody likes fighting but hates all the fucking slow, boring wrestling part? We've done away with all the stuff you like
Yep.
and just kept the shitty part that no one wants to see.
That's Khabib's league, right?
No, that's Eagle
No, that's
FC.
Eagle
ONE
FC.
FC is out of
Okay.
Singapore, and it's actually the biggest league in the world as far as like pay-per-view numbers.
Gross.
No,
I
but
want to see fucking blood sport. Otherwise, I'm not interested.
these kids are no, it's really electrifying. Like Gary Tonin is the guy.
It's not. That's the worst adjective you could have possibly used. I don't even know anything about this, and I was like, "That's a lie." As soon as you said electrifying.
Cade Rotolo jumped off the cage to a back take. He ran up, ran off the cage, and then jumped on the dude's back. It's insane. It's great. It was almost as electrifying as the end to the Premier League season this weekend, which we had the craziest title race that we've had in a long time. Going
Gross. Are you going to the game in July at Camping World Stadium?
Apparently I'm not, because I pitched the idea this morning and y'all shot it down because of Camping World.
Look, it's Camping World.
Any reason for me to go to Orlando? I'm
We'll
in.
see. It's
In
still
July?
It's still 2 months
Oh, yeah.
from now. We'll see.
Orlando in July is,
God damn
Perfect.
it, dude. That's the worst.
Yeah, no,
the
it's not
worst.
great.
I
No,
figured it'd
it's
be,
outdoor. It's an outdoor stadium.
Are you
Yes.
gonna watch? There's a fucking like a LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony thing coming out or something? Is that what it is? Have you heard about this?
There's a golf outing though. I know it's Tom Brady and Mahomes is in it. I didn't hear about the LeBron James Carmelo Anthony.
If it's got Carmelo in it, yeah, I'll watch it.
What else? What were you about to say, Giorgio? Before I rudely
It's called
cut you
Shooting
off?
Stars.
The greatest American basketball player of our lifetime, Carmelo Anthony.
Sure.
Well, I think he's the most decorated Olympian.
You know what's really
He is.
funny is that the Warriors are going to win the title this year, and then there will be 4 dudes on the Warriors that have the same amount of rings as LeBron James.
Yeah.
And then they're going to win it probably next year as well. Like
I'm just glad that Durant's not there.
It will make
Same.
I'll be the happiest I've ever been in my life probably, which is, I mean, it's razor thin at any given moment, but I'll be the happiest I've ever been when I get to see. And if I were the Warriors, I would do this as soon as they play the Lakers at home. That's when I would award the 5th trophy to everybody.
Yeah.
But that would be amazing to know that there are a bunch of dudes in the league that have more titles than he does.
Oh, it'd be great.
Because I hate LeBron James.
Same.
I think he's a horrible, horrible human being. Just one of the worst people of all time.
You know,
mean,
if
he
you join
clowned
me
me
in
when I
hating
was 16,
basketball,
so that's why.
then you don't have to care about LeBron
And only
James
that
because you don't
reason.
care about basketball.
Yeah,
Goddamn right.
well, I mean, nobody cares about fucking wrestling either.
No, then neither should they.
No.
To be honest, I want to get your guys' opinion on this because I'm a casual when it comes to UFC, but I've been completely tuned out for about a year.
Of UFC?
Nothing that's happened in the UFC over the past year has done anything for me.
It's gotten significantly better, I feel.
Really?
The product, yeah. It's been so many good
The
fights
product
this year.
has, but why is the superstars, why are they missing?
Because you're not having these big, crazy spectacles. Like, you don't have a giant talent differential, which makes these like things happen that are exciting
Sure
for
you
you
do.
guys.
I mean, you're having fucking incredible fights this year.
You are, but you don't see like this vast gulf in the talent. So sometimes it gets a little boring,
And
you
you're
don't
having
know who's better
insane
than each other.
knockouts.
Is
Like,
it-
the
is-
fact that Chandler's not a fucking megastar is insane.
Is there like I know this was like the one sport that survived it for the most part, but is there like a COVID wake where there wasn't enough big events and now it's kind
No,
of catching up?
UFC was literally them
was
and
the only
golf.
thing
were
They were
the only
first
ones,
2
yeah.
sports that came back.
That was the only thing that
Why
got
no,
us
but
through
I'm-
COVID. But
Is there any way? So there are grappling only tournaments. Can there be a knockout and submission only? Like the fight doesn't end until somebody ends it, right?
that's what I want to see.
UFC used to do that, right?
And that's what a lot of these submission
basements.
tournaments do now. These like almost, they don't have unlimited, but they've had some like really super long matches go on that's just
Yeah.
submission only, which is kind of interesting. Eddie Bravo has combat jujitsu, which is when you're on the ground and you're allowed to open palm strike him. Because there's a lot of positions where you're like, oh, your face is open and you're holding me with both your arms. Why can't I just hit you to get out of it? And so they added that to it, which is pretty interesting.
Here's what I don't understand. Like there's all the gaming commissions and all this other bullshit. Why? Why is it any of their business? If somebody wants to start a business with 2 grown adults who want to fuck each other up and get paid money for it while other people pay to watch that, what fucking business is that of the governments or anybody else?
State by state.
Well,
Yeah.
I understand how the fucking structure works. I'm saying I don't believe in principle that they have any fucking, they should have any control
Well,
over
then
it.
what
go
do they-
out to international waters.
I was going to say, I think they put it under the guise of, what is it, health and human safety or something like that? Like they
Yeah.
don't want to make sure that their brains don't
Yeah,
get
but there are
bashed in.
multiple states in the United States that have mutual combat laws, which means if you and I decided we're going to get into a gunfight outside right now,
Texas
we
is
can legally
one of
do
them.
that.
Yep.
I think it comes with being like paying them, like people like exploiting people in certain ways. I think that's just a little frowned upon, to be
Who
honest.
gives a shit?
Did you see Dana White's comments over the weekend, by the way, about why why he pays UFC fighters the way he does versus boxing?
No, I didn't hear what he said, but like I understand, like the discrepancy in fighter pay is like the right and left in the USA right now. It's either like one extreme or the other. They're getting paid nothing or they're getting paid way fine, and Dana White's the king of everything. Like there's a middle ground to this, and the UFC's numbers probably move a little one way or the other, but it costs a lot to put this thing on.
It does.
For me, it's fucking boring. Here's what I'm talking about: the American fucking dream. You're in your trailer, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I don't want to fucking live in my trailer anymore. I want to fucking live in a house.
In a mansion.
Or whatever. I want to create upward mobility for myself in some way. There aren't a whole lot of ways in modern America that you can even accomplish that. You can get lucky. You can create a product that people like and need and whatever, but you still have to market it and all the shit that comes with that.
You can be the product.
What you're
As you
describing
know.
is Deontay Wilder.
Or
he was
you
pregnant
can-
and had a kid. And
Or
then-
you can
Yeah.
take incredible risk, right? And maybe you'll get rewarded, and if you don't, you fucking die. That's the American pioneer spirit, man. I'm not fucking kidding around here.
I think
this has nothing to do with the fucking government. The government shouldn't be allowed to tell you what you can and can't do with your own fucking body. We've all established that over the last 2 years, right?
Yeah. So by the way, what you're saying, here's where I thought you were going with this. I thought you wanted to take somebody out of a trailer park and have them fight somebody on live TV in a mansion, and then the loser,
Right.
The winner gets like.
Mansion fight.
What's
Yes,
the,
that's
what's
called
the
a-
incentive though for the rich person?
That's the thing. So I think
They get the poor person's their slave. After.
no, not the slave. I think you get to kill a poor person.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's enough for me to
That's
give up
not
my
enough.
mansion.
Really?
Because
you
if
wouldn't
you're
want to
rich-
kill a fucking.
First off, what
hobo.
qualifies as a mansion? Secondly, if we're talking about like a mansion, you're rich enough to just go kill a hobo.
Plus, we've talked about this. Like Connor
You're not.
got money, and now he's soft. So, like, you think you're gonna
Right.
you're gonna out harden this man that's living in a trailer trying to get your mansion.
But that's the thing. Like,
it's
if you
like-
want to prove it to yourself, what better way than to give up you lose your mansion,
There's
or
no
you've
reason
got
to
to
do
beat
that.
a homeless man to
Do you
death.
remember that?
you can just keep your mansion.
Yeah, just
Well, let's say you have a mansion, but you owe a lot in back taxes and you can't afford to pay it. Now we sponsor that.
that's fair. That's fair.
Have you
That's,
seen, remember the movie Gamer, right, with Gerard Butler?
Oh, yeah.
He- but
G-Butts.
he's on death row, but if you win 10 matches, you get out.
Right, like
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes could have fought somebody instead of going to jail.
Yeah. But it's I wouldn't say use prisoners because that's kind of fucked up. But if somebody like I'm not even kidding. Somebody who's kind of a fucking knucklehead who is never gonna do any of these other things that is required to gain upward mobility. This person is going to spend their life working shitty jobs and spending 20 to 30% of their money on scratcher tickets. You know what I mean?
Why do you want to watch them fight?
I want to
have
watch
question.
that motherfucker fight for their life, and I want to watch the
Same.
reality show about them after they become rich.
Same.
You know what I mean? And
do
you know,
too.
so, a lot
so you
most
just want to watch them get poor again.
most yes, most
Yes.
of them are going to fail.
Yep.
But most of everybody fails. Like I love
Just do a
baseball.
reality show on the person that wins the lottery.
I
Well,
love
no. So they did, and that. By the way, this is why I bring this up. That was the most joy that I've gotten because they fucking
So you
lost
don't
all their
want
money.
to
it up,
watch
they don't know how
fighting.
to do
They lost all their fucking money, and I was like, oh my god, my dreams of winning a lottery all these years. Then watching that, I was like, oh, all these people just blew it anyway.
If you win the lottery, the first thing you should do is spend about 80% of it on real estate somewhere. Even if you get a shitty deal on the real estate, you have 25 years worth of fucking appreciable
Buy
equity
Greenland.
right there.
yeah,
I don't know what you're going to do with that.
party.
I want us to buy Greenland still. I think that was Trump's best idea.
It was.
I think we should
And
blow
got
it up
shot down.
and then buy it. Cheaper.
What?
We should blow it up first and then buy it.
Yeah.
Does anybody actually live there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
There's some weird
a
like
lot of people.
Like they're kind of, it's kind of like somebody driving in your blind spot. That shit pisses me off. I want Greenland gone.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll put in a request. The Commanders just spent $100 million on land, so it looks like they're getting a new stadium there in Washington.
It's like an hour away from DC, yeah.
Thank God. So when I saw this, I was like, please make this further away from DC. Like that, the traffic going into that stadium. That's why I've never gone back there again. I've went once, and that was it.
is it even worth it to go to NFL games anymore?
No.
Like really?
Sure isn't.
Great
Playoff
question.
games, yeah.
Yeah, but like a lot of these stadiums, man, like I went to the Super Bowl in San Francisco and
Yeah, no, that sucks.
that was fucking
Santa Clara?
That was fucking brutal. Yeah, man.
That's an hour away.
Going out to Arlington to
by
get to fucking
Dublin.
Jerry World. I mean, that is not in Dallas. That is not fucking even close to Dallas.
You know, the Link's it's a good setup because you have
Yeah, Link's
in
dope.
Philly.
We had a
it's
good time there.
because you have the 3 stadiums and then you have Xfinity Live, which is where all the bars
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So that's a good setup and it's still relatively.
We've been there
relatively close to
numerous
downtown.
times, and we've had a blast there. I actually enjoyed Philadelphia every time I was there.
Philly's good.
I was surprised.
There's some stadiums
They've cleaned it up.
that are
All
still
the
like
trash in Philly is outside of Philly. Inside Philly, it's not really that.
You mean
bad.
where you lived?
Yeah, Dublin,
Yeah,
Chester, you know,
Speaking
Camden,
of
New Jersey.
Speaking of the Washington Commies, we got the tox report back from Dwayne Haskins.
yeah. We mentioned this on Drinkin Bros last hour, and it's not good. 0.24, and they found ketamine in his system.
And there was a woman in the car with him as well.
That was not his wife.
I've talked to some people with intimate knowledge of the situation, and he was definitely not. That's not his wife.
No. It was not his wife.
Yeah.
And weird situation because she got tats. Did you see her arms, the wife's arms afterwards?
No, did she get like
Full sleeves of Dwayne Haskins.
before or after?
After.
Man,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she's getting all the money, so
Yeah.
why not?
It's strange. It's a strange story. Is it weird that I didn't picture this coming back any differently? Me personally, this is exactly what I expected.
No, this is, there were a lot of questions when it first happened, like, why the fuck would he have been doing this?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he have just called his wife and gotten a ride or whatever the fuck, right? Or called somebody and gotten a ride, and it was because there was a woman with him. And he was shit-faced.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Both of those reasons. Yeah. I mean, it's just tragic nonsense.
Yeah, but that guy's like, if I had to pick an athlete over the last 5 years that would happen to, he would definitely be in my fucking short list. Him, Antonio Brown, a couple other people like that would definitely be on my short list for stupid shit like this.
100%. So more information came out since the last Drinkin' Bros. Haskins went to dinner with a cousin or friend whose name was Joey, and then later went to a nightclub, possibly in Miami. They drank heavily, and at some point they got into a fight, and then they left. And that's when he left with this girl, and 0.24 ketamine, the whole fucking shit, and multiple blunt force. So he probably ran over, 3 or 4 times?
I mean, he got hit by a fucking
dump truck.
Semi or dump truck or something.
But I'm imagining he probably got spinned and then,
Or he got hit and then, he got tossed.
Yes.
Yeah.
The dump truck just kept going back and forth.
Yeah, they backed up over him and then dumped out the trash on him, too.
Yeah, they're
boy.
like, go
They
Big
were-
Blue, and then drove off.
those Michigan fans.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Yeah, I didn't picture this going any other way, unfortunately, and that sucks. It's a bizarre story that we finally have the answer to. So, look, kids, we appreciate you joining us today. No hockey minutes because Nick is actually trying to get the logo painted on our
Blues
field.
playing tonight.
They are.
Let's fucking go.
Carolina is up 2-1 in their series.
Go Panthers.
Panthers.
The Lightning are going to
They're down
sweep
0-3.
them.
Yeah,
And
they're down 0-3.
Panthers coming back. Mavs coming back. I'm the only person brave enough to say this.
yeah, are you also
Christ.
a
Bring the
flat,
full
flat
swing.
earther?
Yeah.
Hollow Earth. I ride with John
Mega-
Quincy Adams.
the mega
JQA.
And the mole people. Yeah.
Nice.
We haven't
He
found
was
them
a mega structure guy, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Bet with us or against us on mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros will double your deposit up to $1,000. For D'Anthony and Anthony Holloway, Delco Dan, Hot Bob, and Papa Giorgio, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Monday Morning Recap. Good morning, everyone.